Welcome back to the DMD show. Today we're going to go through all these amps and kind of do a combination of them and see what they sound like. So let me go ahead and give you a little tour of what we got going on here. So right behind us here, we have a camera back here, and it's going to pick up most of the sound, or the good sound I should say. And what we got over here is a super overdrive. We're going to use that. And we got this three-way switcher, so we can do them all at the same time if we want to, or one at a time, or two at a time. So let's go over some of the amps actually. So we got a JetCity slow modded. It's one of my favorite things to capture on my quad cortex. We got a JCM 900, which is modded to bypass the clipping diodes, and it's actually, I got a feedback switch on the back of it. It's actually a dial, but it actually adds a lot more depth to it and stuff like that. So what else we got? We got the good old Randall RD45, some Fortin stuff going on there. We got the Triple Rec. Let's see, yeah, Triple Rec. We got the Delisle 100 HR. We got the 6505. God, I can't do this camera stuff. The PV 6505 Plus, and then a JCM 800. Let's have some fun. All right, guys, we got something fun for us today. I've never done this before. Be in the middle of three cabs, three Marshalls. First, we're going to try out the JCM 900, the Delisle 100, and the JCM 800. So I'm going to switch between them. We're going to play with the settings just a little bit and just get a feel for them and get the right sound. And then we're going to just blast all three of them and see what it sounds like all together. I don't know too many people who've done this, but we're going to do it today. Alright, so let's start off with seeing what the 900 sounds like. That sounds good to me. What I might do is pump up the gain just a little bit on that. Let's just see what that sounds like. It was at 2 o'clock, I brought it to 3 o'clock now. Alright, that sounds bad ass. Alright, so let's go over to the Delisle 100. The good old faithful. These are the back lines for all the touring bands and stuff. You can always trust the Delisle 100. So let's see what it sounds like. Back to the 900. Okay, that sounds like there's a lot more mids in that guy. So let's go back to this Delisle and see what that sounds like again. Let's see if we can give it more mids. It's at 2 o'clock right now. Let's go to 3 o'clock. They both have their characteristics that are really cool about them. I do think that this will come out, like if you're playing live or even in a mix, this would shine a little bit more for sure, the 900. So let's see what they sound like together. I wish I could have this live for every situation, but well, let's go over to the 800 and let's compare them. All right. So the 800, I got the preamp gain all the way up, of course, right? And the master is around what, 8 to 9 o'clock. This thing cranks in volume really quick. It's really loud. I know that with the JCM 800. You would like to, push the power amp more to get a little more of that gain from the power amp side. But we're just going to go through with just the same kind of levels that these are going and see what it sounds like. 800. So let's go back to 900, see what that sounds like. I can see the clarity, or hear the clarity in the 800 for sure. It sounds very nice to the ears. But what I do have is where you got a SD1, and we're going to go ahead and pump it through this guy and see what that sounds like. Because I want more gain out of it. So let's do that. SD1 is on. Now typically I like to do this just to push it a little bit, meaning level all the way up and drive all the way down with the tone just at the middle there. So let's actually put a little more drive into it because I feel like we need a little more. Let's go 8 o'clock with the drive. Alright, let's try the 900 with the drive. Whoa, okay. Let's bring it down. Alright, so now let's try the DSL. Oh man, that is awesome. Let's try the 800 and the 900 together without the DSL. Let's see what that sounds like. So we got like a stereo thing. Alright, let's pump in the DSL 100 as well. We got all three of them going, right? I'll step out the way. that will get any guitarist just all giddy, all sorts of giddy. I guess let me talk about the cabs. We got this line 6, I'll show you the speaker right here. And this line 6 is loaded with V30s, the Chinese versions. And I'm not sure what this Marshall, but it's original, JCM 800 lead 1960. So that's running the 800 here. So, all right, so let's hear that one more time. All three of them together. Step out the way. Heavy. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the other amps. All right, so what we got here is the JetCity slow modded, a triple rec, and a PV6505. So I know that the triple rec is going to need the overdrive. I know this can pump enough overdrive for itself, as well as this JetCity. So let's go ahead and get the sounds right for it. I'm not going to go over my settings. I'm just going to get this to taste because it's hard to tell with a big room and to get the sound right to what you're hearing. I'm just going to do the best to what I hear, and then we'll go from there. All right. All right, that's awesome. All right, let's go over to triple rec. We got some radio. Man, that bass is massive. That was with the game all the way up. I personally like the vintage. Oh, that just ruined it. Okay, so I'm good with that. Dude, really? Alright, so now we're going to do the 6505. Sounds good to me already. I didn't need to do anything with it. I'll probably have settings to this already that I liked. So, sounds heavy, sounds brutal, ready to go. Alright, so let's go through this. Let's see if the levels are right. JetCity, Mesa, alright, and 6505. Alright, let's jam on the JetCity a little bit. JetCity. Alright, so let's go back to Mesa because we know that they like overdrives. Put that on. Sounds awesome. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to do the JetCity and the Mesa. That sounds so brutal. Alright, let's do the JetCity and the 6505. I love that. This JetCity and this 6505, that is brutal. Alright, let's go ahead and do the 6505 with the Mesa.
Daniel, I don't have words to describe that would adequately convey the sadness.
Let's go back to the JetCity with the 6505. Oh man. All right. Let's do all three of them at the same time. Let's check that out. Ready? That is awesome. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the Mesa out of the mix of this. I'm going to put the Randall in the mix of this, and then we're going to do this all over again. Alright, so let's do that. Okay, so let's see if the Fortin design can stand up to JetCity and the 6505. let's go to JetCity. Back to Randall. Alright, and then back to the 655. Back to Randall. Alright, let's do all three of them. Alright, my camera's about to die. So sorry I gotta cut it short. That's what's up. D&D out. Alright. So what'd you guys dig? Which one did you like the best? To me, I think the combination of the 6505 with the JetCity was probably my favorite. Personally. I don't know. You tell me in the comments what you think is best. I feel like the 900 definitely stands its own there. The 800 is just really clear, I think, because it doesn't have as much gain and distortion. And when you add the overdrive to it, it does boost it more. So, classic 800. Good. The Mesa is definitely a specific sound to it. I don't know if it's my favorite. I can't say that. The Randall definitely sounded really dark to me. The 6505 was just balls to the wall. I think, you know, and it still stands that amp is just legendary to me. You know, I'm a big metal head, and it just sounds so brutal. You know, the amount of gain on tap. Of course, you only put it up to 3 or 4 or something like that, and then you got plenty. The JetCity, and I'm really surprised how that holds up for, you know, how cheap those guys are. And I did have Acorn amps go through and do a slow mod to this thing, and I've loved it ever since. I mean, I loved it before too, but I knew there was more I could get out of it. And with those 2 amps, man, it is so awesome. All right, guys, till next time, DMD out.